You are not like them. Never were. Never will be. The world screams for your attention, demands your loyalty, your time, your soul. But you stand apart. A shadow in the crowd, a whisper in the storm. They call you distant, cold, unreachable, but they don't see. They can't. Your detachment is not weakness. It's rebellion. A quiet, unyielding refusal to bow to a world that trades truth for noise. You are the Sigma male, misunderstood, misjudged, magnificent. This is your art, the art of detachment, not running from life, but rising above it, not hiding from pain, but forging it into power. Why do you detach? Because you see. You see the strings that bind them. You see the cages they call freedom. And you choose something greater, something sacred, something only you understand. The world is a spider's web, invisible threads, sticky with promises, love, success, approval. They pull at you, tug at your heart, whisper that you need them, that you're incomplete without them. But you've felt their weight, the lover who demanded your soul, the job that stole your fire, the friends who faded when you stopped performing. Attachment is a thief. It takes your clarity, your strength, your truth. You've seen men crumble under its spell, chasing shadows they thought were light. You've watched them beg for scraps of validation, cling to dreams that were never theirs. And you felt the pull too, the ache, the hunger. But you didn't break. You didn't bow. You learned. Every chain you break is a step toward freedom. Every tie you cut is a wound that heals stronger. Detachment is not loss. It's liberation. They fear the quiet, the empty spaces, the moments when no one is watching. But you thrive there. Solitude is your forge, your sanctuary, your crucible. In the silence, you hear your own voice, not the world's, not the crowd's, yours, raw, unfiltered, true. Here, you face your demons, your doubts, your scars. You don't run. You don't distract. You sit with them. You learn their names. And in that stillness, you grow. Stronger, wiser, unbreakable. The world calls it loneliness. You call it power. Because in solitude, you build a kingdom no one can touch. A fortress no one can breach. This is where the Sigma male is born. Not in the spotlight, not in the applause, but in the quiet rebellion of being enough. They think you're cold, heartless, a man of stone. They're wrong. You feel everything. The weight of a stranger's pain, the flicker of hope in a child's eyes, the betrayal hidden in a friend's smile. Your heart is not small. It's vast, too vast for their shallow games. You care so deeply, you cannot afford to care carelessly. Every bond you form is a choice. Every love you give is a vow. But you don't scatter your soul. You don't spill your light on those who won't see it. Detachment is your filter. It guards your fire. It protects your truth. You love fiercely, but you let go gently. You care profoundly, but you don't cling. This is your paradox. A heart that burns, yet never consumes itself. The world is loud. Opinions clash like swords. Egos roar like tempests. Everyone demands to be heard. But you listen, you watch, you wait. Your silence is not weakness. It's strategy. A blade honed in the dark. They talk to fill the void. You speak to cut through it. They shout to be seen. You stand to be felt. The noise of the world is a trap. It drowns the truth. It buries the soul. But in your silence, you find clarity. You see what they miss. You know what they fear. Detachment is your shield against the chaos. It lets you move through the storm without being swept away. You are the eye of the hurricane. Calm, centered, untouched. Letting go is not surrender. It's mastery, a deliberate act of power. You've held on before, to people who didn't stay, to dreams that didn't fit, to anger that burned you more than them. And you learned, clinging is a cage. It traps you in moments that no longer serve. It binds you to versions of yourself you've outgrown. Detachment is freedom. It's releasing the past without erasing its lessons. It's forgiving the betrayer without forgetting their face. It's walking away from what dims your light without looking back. You let go not because you're weak, but because you're strong enough to carry only what matters. Your heart is not a museum for pain. Your soul is not a graveyard for regrets. You release. You rise. You reclaim. They don't see you coming. They never do. You don't announce your strength. You don't parade your wisdom. You don't need to. Your presence speaks. A quiet force. A hidden current. You move through rooms like a ghost. But your impact lingers like a storm. The Sigma male doesn't demand attention. He commands it, not with words, not with boasts, but with the weight of his being. Detachment gives you this. It strips away the need for validation. It frees you from the hunger for applause. You are enough. Your worth is not in their eyes. It's in your actions, your choices, your truth. You are the man who changes the room without saying a word. The one they feel long after you're gone. The world worships idols. Money, status, fame. They kneel at altars that crumble. They chase gods that betray. But you see through the illusion. You know their promises are dust. Detachment is your defiance. You don't bow to wealth that chains you. You don't chase titles that define you. You don't crave the spotlight that blinds you. Your God is within. Your truth, your purpose, your fire. You reject the false to embrace the eternal. You turn away from their games to build your own empire, not of gold, not of power, but of meaning, of mastery, of self. The world calls you a heretic. You call yourself free. Your emotions are not your enemy. They are your raw material. Anger, fear, sorrow. They come like storms, unbidden, unrelenting. But you don't fight them. You don't drown in them. You transform them. Detachment is your alchemy. You take the chaos within and forge it into strength. Anger becomes resolve. Fear becomes clarity. Sorrow becomes wisdom. This is your discipline, not suppressing what you feel, but mastering how it shapes you. You don't let emotions rule. You let them teach. You let them refine. Every wound is a lesson. Every pain is a forge. You are the alchemist of your soul, turning lead into gold, turning darkness into light. You don't wear a crown. You don't need one. Your kingdom is not of thrones or titles. It's of mind, of will, of spirit. The Sigma male is a king without a court, a ruler without a realm. You lead yourself first. You command your desires. You govern your fears. Detachment is your scepter. It gives you dominion over chaos. It grants you sovereignty over doubt. You walk through the world not to conquer it, but to master yourself within it. They'll never see your throne. They'll never know your reign, but you do. And that's enough. You are the unseen king, crowned in silence, ruling in solitude, unbowed, unbroken, eternal. Nothing comes without price. Detachment is no exception. You've paid it, in sleepless nights, in moments of doubt, in the ache of being misunderstood. They'll call you aloof. They'll say you're too far gone. They'll mourn the man they thought you were, and you'll feel it, the sting of their judgment, the weight of their distance. But you'll carry on, because the cost of attachment is greater, the cost of losing yourself to their expectations, their demands, their noise. Detachment costs you connections, but it grants you clarity. It costs you comfort, but it gives you freedom. You pay the price. Not because you're reckless, but because you're resolute. You choose the harder path because it leads to the truer you. Beyond the noise, beyond the chains, beyond the illusions, there is freedom. Not the freedom they sell, not the freedom they chase, but the kind only you know. The freedom of being whole, of needing nothing, of fearing nothing. Detachment is the veil you lift. It reveals the world as it is, not as they want it to be. You see the beauty in the fleeting, the strength in the temporary, the power in the present. You are not bound by what was. You are not chained to what might be. You are here, now, alive. This is the freedom of the Sigma male, not escaping life, but embracing it fully, not running from pain, but transcending it. You are free, not because you have everything, but because you need nothing. Detachment is not an end, it's a beginning, a rebirth. You shed the skin of who you were, the man who craved, the man who clung, the man who feared, and in his place, a new you rises, not perfect, not flawless, but whole. You've walked through fire, you've faced the dark, you've let go of what no longer serves, and now you stand taller, not because you're above them, but because you're beyond them. Your transformation is sacred. It's the quiet victory of a man who chose himself, who forged his own path, who found his own truth. You are not just a man. You are a force, a mystery, a light in the shadows. This is your awakening, not loud, not grand, but profound. There is a fire in you. It's always been there, through the pain, through the doubt, through the silence. It burns, not to destroy, not to consume, but to illuminate. Detachment is not the absence of passion. It's the mastery of it. You don't let the flame control you. You wield it. You channel it into your work, into your purpose, into your truth. This fire is your strength, your clarity, your soul. No one can take it. No one can dim it. It is yours, eternal, unquenchable. You are the keeper of the flame, the guardian of your own light, and in its glow, you see the world clearly. You see yourself clearly. You are enough. You are the lone wolf, not because you're lost, not because you're broken, but because you're whole. You've walked the path alone. You've faced the dark alone. And you've found your strength alone. Detachment is your power, not to push the world away, but to pull your truth closer. You don't need their approval. You don't need their praise. You don't need their chains. You are free, not to wander aimlessly, but to hunt fiercely, to live boldly, to be unapologetically you. The world will never fully understand, and that's okay. You don't detach to escape them. You detach to become you. The lone wolf awakens, not to howl at the moon, but to run beneath it, wild, untamed, alive. And so, you return to the silence, not as a retreat, not as a surrender, but as a homecoming. Here, in the quiet, you are whole. Here, in the stillness, you are powerful. Detachment is not the end of your story. It's the beginning of your legend. You are the Sigma male, the man who sees, the man who feels, the man who rises. You don't need the world to understand. You don't need the world to approve. You only need this moment, this breath, this truth. Go now. Live fiercely. Love deeply. Detach boldly. The silence is yours. The power is yours. The world is yours. Not to conquer, but to transcend.